Hey, Vivian.
What's up?
Got any add-ons, additions you'd like to add to your... Now that people have seen your bold theory?
I'm just proud that I could have a theory that is so controversial and yet so brave.
That is true. The entrance to the mansion was locked, but Erika had a master key, so she opened it without any trouble. Erika has a master key.
Oh!
She had gotten Kraus and the others to take the master keys from the servants, and at that time she had used a little sleight of hand to pilfer one of them. Well then, where shall we go first?
Why ask? Let's go and hear Battler San's answer.
Grinning, Erika cut across the entrance hall and passed in front of the dining hall. Deeper. Okay, so this is also, we get some mansion layout stuff here. They cut through the entrance hall and passed in front of the dining hall. So they have to pass by the dining hall in order to get to the guest room where this recurring guest room that people keep getting yeeted in.
At least if they're coming from the entrance hall.
Yes. She headed for the guest room that Battler had lain dead in.
Oh no, Lane's dead.
Shit. You had Iwakura Lane died on EP6 of Umineko on your bingo card, then congratulations. Wow, what forethought. Battler could put off deciding whether the seals would remain whole or not until the moment right before Erika witnessed them. However, once she did witness me,
Witness me!
the game master would have to show what had happened to them. In the witch's game they were in now, the simple act of going to check the seals around the guest room was an attack. Are you ready, Lord Battler? Yeah, or as you'd say it, come, step forward.
Good. Then, show us your response. Well now, are the seals broken or are they not? Has the closed room been preserved, or hasn't it?
It's, of course, been preserved. I almost wonder if we were a step ahead on this one.
Maybe.
The piece Erika held high in the air was the White Queen, which represented herself. Her target was Battler's camp. She attacked. Stratego, fuckers. Erika dashed down the hallway with a sickening smile and clung to the guest room door like a spider. Then she closely examined the seal she had placed retroactively.
Are you sure? You're sure about this, right, Battler San?
Is this okay, Battler San?
Yeah, I can't back down here. After all, even if I'm sealed in here, there are ways of placing the letter.
But now, Erika will probably enter the guest room. And then she will observe your corpse. What are you going to do? If the corpse is there, then there's no problem. The letter's prediction will be off, but it's not as though there's a penalty for that. But still, you intend to fight head-on.
There are times when a man is challenged head-on that he has to respond no matter who the opponent. I must not pull back here. I will take that challenge, and I can search for a way out all I want to later. I managed to do that with Kinzo's study last time. Don't worry, I can do it. I can do it. Come on, Erika. We have confirmed that the seals to the guest room are undamaged. Since the time Lady Erika confirmed Battler's presence, this closed room has been preserved.
Good. I'm breaking the seals. It's time to rip and tear, motherfuckers.
Until it is done.
Until it is done.
Erika destroyed the packing tape seal on the door in ecstasy. It looked as though the intellectual rapist had finally laid her true nature bare.
Okay, I'm opening it. Let's have a look at Battler San's naked scenario.
Like a ruffian pushing down a frail girl, Erika mercilessly and greedily threw the door open. And then finally, the inside of Battler's guest room was observed by Erika. Battler had to show it. Was there a corpse? Or wasn't there?
one, battler.
Here's my response. Why are we yelling? Battler grabbed a black piece from the board and raised it high. That piece. Beato had no memories at the time she had been an expert at this game, and yet, for some reason, she realized that this was a move that could not be taken back. Once this piece was moved, they couldn't move it back. Ah! The guest room was covered by silent darkness. It was pitch black and nothing could be seen. However, there was a light switch just off to the side of the entrance. If she flicked that, the room would be lit up, and she would see whether or not there was a corpse in the bed. Shall I turn them on?
No. Wait for a second, please. Battler-san, I have a proposal.
Let's hear it.
I think you already know, but this time around, I'm not aiming to find the culprit and achieve a standard victory. My enemy is not the lowly group drilling the pieces, but my opponent, you. Yourself.
I know. So you're after a logic error. I'm seriously regretting it now. Even though you were just pretending to be miserable, I fell for it completely and gave you a ridiculous ability. That was your
Pride.
It will cost you
Dearly.
Damn it.
So, what is your proposal?
With a firm voice, Beato urged her to continue. Until just a second ago, she had remained behind Battler's back a bit flustered. However, she was steady now. She saw that Battler had let his emotions take control of him and had been lured into making a bad move, and realized that it was time for her to stay cool and support him. Erika's proposal couldn't be anything good. And on top of that, Erika was sly. She probably wouldn't make a proposal that would be easily rejected.
I will now turn on the light. The top of the bed will be lit up, and it will be decided whether or not Battler has disappeared as the letter predicted. If he's there, great. There's nothing strange at all. The letter's prediction would just be wrong. Of course, the argument would probably switch over to, then who put the letter there? But for the time being, the location of the fight would move outside this closed room.
The body totally won't be there.
No, it won't be. And the thing is, that totally still works on our assumption that Erika is the culprit, because she could have just moved it.
Yep. And if he's missing...
Because she's opened it at this point.
Yep.
Beato already knew. She knew the move that Battler had made a second ago. Battler had already disappeared from this room. Therefore, they would need to prepare a disappearing trick other than he was actually alive and left through the door. The situation is simple. First, this room is a closed room. Also, Battler's life or death status hasn't been confirmed. In other words, him being alive wouldn't cause any problems. They had to make Erika think that Battler had vanished from this situation. He just had to escape from the room. Or if that was impossible, he just had to hide somehow and wait for her to leave, making her think that he'd disappeared.
Inside this tiny room, we will now begin our endgame. The chase after the king. It should end in just a few moves. You'll be unable to construct the logic needed to let Battler escape from this room. And the jail will be destroyed. Game over.
Fighting to keep that from happening is our job. What is this proposal of yours?
An endgame fought over a logic error should be a bit more precise. Once again, we will fight with the red and blue truths, but we need a referee on the same level as the game master to observe and see that he doesn't create any logic errors with the red truth.
That seems reasonable.
There's nothing special about this. Back when the old you was the game master, you were under the observation of your guardian, Lady Lambda Delta. In that way, it was judged that all red truths were valid.
So, you're telling us to show Lambda Delta our cards?
I've been watching since the beginning. It's okay, don't worry. I am impartial in my judgments.
You know what? I find that really hard to believe coming from you, actually.
You can trust me. When have I ever done anything weird or fucked up or at
okay,
random or...
in chronological order or alphabetical? I've got a Rolodex here.
I don't know what those words mean. They have too many syllables.
Oh, okay. Well then.
Can you say that in red? Yep. I swear that I am impartial in my judgments. I was plenty impartial in the last game, wasn't I?
Especially for interesting judgments where she doesn't care which way it falls. Accept it, battler. Erika's gonna corner you. Understand? She will duel with you and kill you in this room. If you're a man, accept the duel. Well, sure, fine. We won't get anywhere if you suspect every single impossible murder I show of being a logic error. It's true that we need an observer to guarantee that the game is legitimate. Whoa, where the fuck did you come from?
Nothing personnel, kid.
Stop doing that. There are other things you can say when you teleport behind someone.
I'll come around to your side. Let me take a look at your hand.
Yeah, I know. I've been doing nothing but basics this entire game. Right? I just need like one thing here. Lambda Delta understood what Battler had up his sleeve, and she saw that Erika's first move had indeed gone straight through his heart. Just as Erika had guessed, Battler was alive and had slipped out the room after Erika had examined his corpse, placed the letter by the guest house, and hid himself somewhere. When the packing tape seals had been retroactively placed on the guest room, he would have had to show that they had been torn. However, if he had done that, it would have been the same as admitting that he had been seen through and that he'd lost. Unwilling to admit that, Battler had claimed that the seals had been maintained with false courage, and was now rushing to revise his logic. True, he could still escape for a few more moves. However, Erika was planning to corner and kill him here.
Battler, you're fighting with some pretty incredible cards here.
Cards?
I like this one, Greater Gargadon. That's pretty cool.
What? Does this game of chess look like a card game to you? Wait, does Lambda Delta actually see it as a game of Magic the Gathering? She was the one talking about tap on tap, untap, upkeep, draw earlier.
To me, it looks as though you all are playing a game of poker.
Wait, what was that one?
Don't worry about it.
I guess she couldn't say it's a game of Magic because that would be a little semantically confusing.
So, by moving to this side and looking at the cards you hold, I understand everything. Doesn't understand it at all. That's an awful move. It's a complete waste. And Erika has already seen right through you.
What would you do?
And the referee, I can't give you advice. But let me tell you my impressions.
No, that's okay.
It's chilling. You're trying to use this useless move, this baseless bluff, to make Erika back down? She's not going to back down, that girl, after all. You're the one who should be throwing his chips in and folding now.
Does this count as using outside notes?
Thanks for the advice, I guess. Battler-san, I agree with her. Let's back down from the fight in this room. We don't have any winning cards. Were you hoping to discard your cards and draw something more useful? I thought you were playing chess. In the world of chess, if you rely on luck, you die.
By hoping to draw something useful, she meant relying on luck and betting that even if he couldn't think of a trick now, he might think of a good plan for making a closed room trick later on. If you enter into the fight without any trick in mind, you get killed. Now was the time to back down. When Erika flipped the switch, he just had to be sleeping there on that bed. That's all he needs. Lambda. I don't know what you're talking about over there, but you're chatting too much. A referee needs to be impartial.
True.
Oh my god, would you stop doing... You can walk like a normal human being.
I teleported in front of you.
Okay.
Then good luck, Battler. I'm hoping for a precise, chess-like battle. You aren't playing poker, are you?
Are you ready, Battler-san?
Yeah, I am. Turn the lights on whenever you want.
For the rest of the fight in this room, the progression of time will be stopped. This way, all the moves for both players will be made at the same time, and the first movie will be treated no differently than the last. Might be hard to understand, but this rule exists for the purpose of maintaining logic, and to keep you protected as well.
From here on out, you can use all the twisted logic you want to rebuild the trick in this room. In other words, it's possible you might think of a good idea partway through the fight. Normally, it's unfair to revise your plot partway through. In order for that to be acceptable, you need to have a world stopped in time. everything happens at once, and where logic that you think of afterwards can counter your opponent's earlier move.
Of course, Erika can take advantage of this rule as well. If you revise your trick to be a new one, she can deal with that in a different way. This is pretty complicated.
It's simple, actually. It's like a corrupt politician's war of twisted logic. You lie shamelessly. When evidence is shown revealing that you lie, you retract those previous lies and shamelessly say that you just remembered it wrong. Then change to a new lie that doesn't have any contradictions. The fight goes between a lie, then evidence exposing it, then another lie. Like a fight between two snakes spinning around trying to eat each other's tails.
Good. Just think of it as a world in which you're allowed to use twisted logic based off your opponent's moves as often as you want. I use that myself when sealing this room, after all, so I thought it was only fair to let you do the same.
You have no shame, do you?
I don't know the meaning of the word.
Did someone tear out some pages from the S section of your dictionary?
Well, yes.
Did you get hungry?
Okay, stop. This isn't about... I'm not on trial here.
Okay, then let's have both sides begin. Will Erika take the first move? Will she start by checking the bed? By checking to see what he's bet?
Yeah, let's start by checking to see if Battler's on the bed. Erika, begin.
Leave it to me, my master. Lights on.
With a click, the sound of the light switch rang out and the bulb turned on, lighting up the room. On Battler's bed was...
Lawnmower. Confirm it with the red.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
Ushiromia Battler. No, it's my move. I'll say it. Ushiromia Battler is not on the bed.
Good. Very good. I'm glad you didn't run away from the fight. I'm impressed.
It's a high-stakes battle, so it'll cost you a lot if you're the one who loses. Are you prepared?
No one would raise the stakes unless they felt confident in their advantage.
Zlanor, keep a record. As you... At Lanor's nod, Cornelia, who was hanging back, started taking a record. She wrote down that Battler's corpse, which should have been on the bed, was not, and also that Battler hadn't backed down from this closed room game.
As previously announced, Battler's first move is to have the corpse vanish. Now it's Erika's turn. Go ahead.
I present the possibility that Ushiromia Battler is alive and hiding somewhere inside this room. I proclaim this with the blue truth. But I'm not going to say it with blue. Apparently, I can just do that. I don't know.
Well, invalid. If you want to use the blue truth, give me a specific location. In the last game, Beato did that in Kinzo's study. And Zlanor made Swiss cheese out of her, right? You trying to take revenge for that?
Before I start searching, I have one blue truth that I can use without a search. There is a possibility of a hidden door X that is impossible to discover. He is hidden behind that, so it's impossible for me to find him.
Nox's third. It is forbidden for hidden passages to
Exist.
Whoa! What the fuck just happened? Zlanor, what did you do? I have no control over who uses the
Rules.
Isn't that right?
No hidden places that are impossible for Erika-san to find exist inside the guest room.
No hidden places that are impossible for Erika. So there could be a hidden place, but Erika could find it.
Yep.
It is findable. Nox's third.
Valid.
Good. Then let's get started with the search.
Erika slowly began to walk around the room. Until the end game had started, Erika had been energetic, but jumping about impatiently like a hungry dog. However, now that it had actually begun, This was a stifling battle of wits, where each breath made her tense. Even the quiet sound of the rain was distracting.
Now that I've searched the room, let's confirm its layout.
The guest room is divided into 2 rooms, the bedroom and the
Bathroom.
Lady Erika has currently searched the entire bedroom.
Section.
There is only one.
Exception.
I'll leave that one place be for the time being. So, were there any irregularities discovered in the bedroom?
There were,
None.
except for one location. There is no one to be seen in the
Bedroom.
What's this except for one location business? Say it without being annoying.
There's a reason a face-down card remains face down. Maybe I morphed it. Maybe I manifested it, Battler. Maybe it's foretell for all you fucking know. I'll turn it over if it's needed, so look forward to it.
That's interesting. So there is a spot where someone is?
No, she was very clear that there was what she said is that there is a spot that she has neglected to look.
But what does the red truth say?
The red truth says specifically.
Except for one location, there is no one to be seen in the bedroom. Okay, so it just leaves open the possibility that there is someone in one location.
Yes,
Okay.
in one location. It's unclear whether or not that's the same location she neglected to search.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing it doesn't include her as well, but
I mean, so we suspect that she's not in here. Right?
either we suspect that she's not actually in here. That's one possibility, or that she has opened the door and murdered Battler and is now looking around and being a dick about it.
Yeah. But I mean, previously, the whole thing with the number of people in the rooms and so on.
Right. Going back to last episode. Yeah, we suspect that the explanation for this is that none of this is happening. So it doesn't fucking matter. She's not actually here.
Which leaves open the possibility if one person is here, only one, then sure, it's Battler. That's the one person. Erika isn't.
Yeah, exactly. After thoroughly checking the bedroom, Erika headed for the bathroom door. Since he wasn't in the bedroom, it was natural to think that he was in the bathroom, and since the guest room was made up of 2 rooms, if Battler wasn't in the bathroom either, it would mean that he had managed to vanish from the closed room, except for that single location that Erika had intentionally left unchecked.
I'm checking the bathroom.
Lady Erika, the sound of water can be heard from
Inside.
Also, there is a faint
Heat.
No. Don't tell me he's taking a shower. Is it locked or something?
No, it isn't locked. Go ahead and open it.
Then if you allow me.
Slowly, Erika put her hand on the doorknob on the bathroom door. She tried to push it open, but felt a strange resistance. Of course, it wasn't the resistance of the lock. It felt as though it had an unnatural load. Out from the slightly open crack poured the hot air from the shower. However, it was unlocked, so there probably wasn't anyone taking a shower. Letting a dumbfounded expression rise to her face, Erika slammed into the door with her whole body, knocking it open.
Yeah! What?
As soon as she opened the door, a hot blast poured out on her. Erika froze, unable to understand what had happened. Falling backwards on her butt, she realized the boiling hot shower water was spewing out at her. Hard.
Lamau. Get dunked on.
Get dunked on! Boop, 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 boop.
I hope he spends the rest of the chapter just making the story dunk on Erika
Just
over and
home-aloading
over.
her over and over.
Yeah, it doesn't help at all with the logic games or the mystery. It's just some extra flavor.
What the fuck is this? What a crazy prank.
Cursing, Erika wrapped the blanket from the bed around herself and tried to enter the bathroom once more. This time she was able to figure out what was going on. It was quite an elaborate prank. A wire fixed to the shower nozzle in place so that it pointed at the entrance. The pressure and heat were turned up to the max, so that anyone who went through the door would be met with a wave of hot water. The pressure was very strong, which probably accounted for the weight she had felt when trying to push the door open. Tried to make the nozzle point in another direction, but not only was it fixed in place by the wire, it was also fixed in place high enough that Erika couldn't reach it with her height.
Seriously? This This is just fucking petty, and you know that.
Yeah, so? She tried to turn off the pressure, but that was also held in place by wires. She couldn't manage anything with her bare hands. You would have to get a tool that could cut the wires. However, when she looked into the bathtub, which was overflowing with very hot water, she saw a bundle of wires and some nippers that had been used to cut them lying at the bottom. If she used that, she could turn off the pressure.
God damn you!
The blanket she had used to protect herself from the shower was getting more and more drenched with boiling hot water. At this rate, she'd get burns even through the blanket. She needed to turn the water off quickly. Right next to the bathtub, she saw a hanging lawn-handled body brush. Perfect. Erika used that to skillfully scrape the nippers up off the bottom of the tub. Fortunately, it was a shallow Western-style bathtub. Had it been a deep Japanese one, it probably would have burned her badly. Making sure not to touch the hot metal parts, carefully took the nippers and cut the wires around the faucet.
Take that. And that.
What is it about Erika and getting drenched? Via the ocean, via climbing around the outside of the building in a typhoon, via the fucking shower.
Because people like their rats soaking wet. I don't know.
She finally managed to turn the hot water faucet, and the heat from the hot water storm died down. For a while, Erika was forced to cool her almost burnt arms under running water. What a
Calamity.
Would you like a bath? I can wash your face with this brush.
I appreciate the sentiment, but
No.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh, I got to do it too. That was fun. More of that, please.
Erika had finally regained enough of her composure to be abusive. She turned off the water. I take a sip of my coffee. She turned off the faucet completely, and silence returned to the bathroom. After that, all that remained was Erika's heavy breathing. She turned on the fan to get rid of the hot steam. She had to leave the bathroom until that was finished. It was pleasant, like stepping into an air-conditioned room on a hot summer's day.
Now that was a ridiculous trap. However, that wasn't here at the time I examined Battler's corpse. Therefore, the appearance of this trap proves that Ushiromi Battler was alive. I thought he was dead anyway.
So he decided to openly show a card that had already been
Exposed.
Let's check the inside of the bathroom. Was Battler seen?
No.
No one was seen in the
Bathroom.
Good. Now we've confirmed that. Except for one location. Battler does not exist anywhere inside the guest room.
Give that a rest. Just where is this one exception?
The coffin. Ushiromi Battler's coffin. That is.
ashes to ashes, the dead to their...
Coffins.
You plan to trap me in this room, right? Okay, let's have it. And again, yeah, like we proposed last time, like, so far we've had nothing to indicate that Erika is actually here.
Mm-hmm.
So, a silence that was complete except for the rain was suddenly filled with the smell of gunpowder. Though it was extremely quiet, the room was filled with tension, as though you'd be sliced in half if you relaxed for an instant. A cloud of gold butterflies gathered on the room's round table and turned into a witch's chessboard. It was finally time for her to attack.
Bluetooth, you did not vanish from this room. You just hid yourself to make it seem as though you disappeared from a closed room. The place you are hiding is the one exception that I haven't investigated yet.
As Erika lightly raised her right hand, a single gold butterfly appeared from the darkness behind her, flitted between the index finger and middle finger of Erika's raised hand, and became a white piece. Then she lifted it high into the air.
This is the one exception. The walk-in closet next to the entrance.
Okay, so we know about the closet. I didn't know it was next to the entrance, but we knew about the closet. Bang! Like a falling white lightning bolt, the white piece hit the board, landing by a weak spot in Battler's formation.
I'm imagining playing a round of chess with these fuckers, and they keep on slamming the pieces down from on high with maximum velocity, fucking up the whole board state every time.
And now
It'd
that
be a
their opponent
nightmare.
has fallen for my trap, I will attack them with an
Intercontinental ballistic missile.
It's the only chess meme I know. Yes, it is. With a crash, the door of the closet, which was just off to the side of the guest room's entrance, was impaled by a spear that represented the blue truth. Delano had spun around and thrown it. The door was completely pierced, and the spear stuck in so deeply that if a human had been hiding in it, it would have pierced their chest as well. Its still quivering handle was testament to the force with which it had been thrown. There are no places in which to hide other than
Yes.
You are now hiding in.
What do you say, Battler-san? Have you been stuck through the chest with literal smothered meat?
Battler-san, it's our move now.
Yeah. I thought I'd be like that, Erika. You intentionally left one spot open so you could stuff me into that coffin. Same move that tripped Kinzo in Natsuhi's room. I saw it coming.
Oh, did you? Then let's see your response. But let me make a prediction first.
Let's hear it.
I'll checkmate you 2 moves from now. That's my prediction.
Then I'll make the same prediction. I'll checkmate you in 2 moves.
Sounds interesting.
These predictions contradict each other. Who will be the liar, I wonder? The air burst and sparked. The silence would hurt one's skin. Then
Go.
it is your
Turn.
It's useless. Your lowly coffin won't be able to trap Battler-san.
Here is my response. Slowly, Battler moved his hand over the chessboard. A gold butterfly that had appeared from the darkness rested on Battler's finger and became a black piece. That black piece was the king, which represented Battler. This is my response to your Battler is hiding in the closet. Take this. Ushiromiya Battler does not exist within the guest room. There are no exceptions, including the closet.
Ooh.
Fascinating. Like a black bolt of lightning this time. Battler slammed his piece down on the white piece of Erika's that had been cut deep behind his lines, crushing hers. It scattered like a golden spray and melted beautifully into the darkness, like a faint cloud of gold sparks drifted about.
I see. So he hid in the closet at first, and then slipped out of the room while Erika was occupied by the shower.
It is the same technique he used to let Kinzo escape from the study in the last game. Distract the observation of the observer and disappear into the darkness.
Good. Of course. Yes, of course. I'd already foreseen that move.
Next was Erika's turn. A gold butterfly popped into existence in front of Erika, and she grabbed it right out of the air. She then lifted that hand into the air and raised the white piece high.
Let me announce a retroactive move. This occurs back in the very beginning, right after I broke the seals and entered this room. At that time, I immediately closed the door, reset the chain, and sealed this room.
So the chain wasn't set when she entered it.
Interesting.
Just saying. Objection. Goda severed the chain back when the crime was first discovered. Since the chain lock is not functioning, it is impossible to use it to create a seal. Objection overruled. Erika repaired the chain lock. See?
Impossible. How could she have repaired a brass chain? It was possible.
Banger alert, by the way.
Have you forgotten, Beato? The packing tape seals. Erika used that packing tape to join the two cut ends of the chain together, sealing them. In other words, the chain was repaired by the packing tape, and this room once again became a closed room locked from the inside. Objection. Erika-san has already used up her packing tape seals, hasn't she? She shouldn't be able to use them anymore. Objection overruled. The use of the packing tape wasn't limited by the number of strips, right? It was by the number of rooms. The only restriction was to limit it to only 3 rooms. Erika chose this guest room to be one of those rooms, so Erika has the right to seal as many places as many times as she wants within this room.
Oh, that's right. They gave her permission to do that. This is the cost of your sympathy, is the evil liquor that the proud are most fond of.
So, with this retroactive move, I proclaim that the chain lock has been repaired, but the packing tape seal has regained its original functionality. And that thanks to that, I unlocked the room upon entry and made this guest room a closed room from the inside once more.
The white piece Erika held aloft represented the seal caused by the chain lock. This move would draw out Battler's King and drag it to the guillotine. Did that proclaim in red that Erika was indeed here now? No, she said it was a
Apparently.
retroactive move, so it could also be the first time she visited the room.
She said when it happens.
Yeah. This move would draw out Battler's King and drag it to the guillotine.
Die, Battler!
The piece for the chain lock was slammed down right at Battler's King's throat.
Repeat it! The lock created by the chain is currently intact.
Battler's face contorted. Beata, who was watching from behind, grimaced even more. This move was very painful. His logic had him hiding in the closet until Erika left, using the uproar of the bathroom to escape, and the chain lock must have been undone. In other words, he couldn't respond to her demand. If he didn't respond, Erika would use the blue truth in her next move. She would probably say you hid in the closet, then use the disturbance in the bathroom to escape. If you then couldn't set the chain lock from the outside, you left it undone. And she would be right. This was checkmate. As Erika had predicted, she would strike the finishing blow on the second move. And on top of that, she would probably use the disappearing battler to solve most of the crimes that were to follow. Using the battle in this closed room would steal a major deciding piece from Battler. But what if he responded to her demand? What if he could say the lock created by the chain is still intact? That would be fatal to Erika. It had already been shown with the red truth that this guest room could only be made into a closed room from the inside, so this hopeless closed room would instead become Erika's coffin. With a riddle of that magnitude, Erika probably wouldn't solve the mystery of Battler's disappearance before the end. Each unsolved riddle gives an advantage to the witch side. Battler wanted to respond to this demand, if at all possible. However, if he answered by saying that the chain was still set, he would have to abandon the logic saying that he had escaped while Erika wasn't looking. Once he escaped, he wouldn't be able to set the chain lock again. Make a riddle to corner Erika, but he would have to construct a different escape method. Even a move such as him leaving the closet during the scene in the bathroom and hiding in another place, staying under the bed, wouldn't work because he proclaimed that Battler does not exist within the guest room. If he could construct logic that allowed him to escape from here while preserving the chain lock's position, then Erika would be the one facing a fatal blow. However, he didn't have that logic. If he failed, it would be a logic error. The worst and lowest forbidden move that would instantly end the game in his defeat. He would have no way to recover. For Battler, deciding how to respond to this demand was a very advanced and difficult decision. Either way, Erika would probably corner him. In that case, my choice is obvious.
Battler-san, this guest room has already been restricted in many ways by the red truth due to its closed room nature. How do you plan on escaping from this?
If only I could do something about the chain lock, if only. If he could somehow get around the chain lock, he could force Erika to deal with the terrible closed room. Probably end up as a finishing blow to her. In order to do that, he would need to make a trick for escaping the closed room that existed before Erika came back, which was now the closed room sealed by the chain that Erika set right after entering the room. And on top of that, he had to make sure that the chain that could only be set from the inside remained in place. If he could do that, he could find a way to end here. But I still can't think of that trick! Right now, Erika's demanding to know whether the chain lock is still set or not. I need to decide whether I'll take that challenge or back down. And I need to do it right now. Wait for a certain win trick, then this is the end. But if I don't have that trick, I should just acknowledge that I slipped out of the closet, undid the chain and escaped, backing out of the fight. If I say the chain was set without trick up my sleeve, it's impossible for me to escape. In other words, it's a logic error.
Even if we lose the fight in this room, there will still be chances left to us. We've only started the second day, haven't we? We have plenty of time to reconstruct an impossible murder.
No, that's no good. If I acknowledge that I've escaped from this room now, it's the same as acknowledging that I'm the culprit. If I back down from the fight in this room, it's the same as accepting my defeat in this game. Battler's point was a valid one. Since all of the other humans were still locked in the guest house, then if Battler alone was alive and free to move, Erika would probably base her explanation for all of the following impossible crimes on the blue truth that Battler was the perpetrator.
Okay, here's something. Battler was never in this room.
Didn't we get Red saying that he was?
Oh, we totally did. We
Yeah.
totally did.
Or did we just get Red saying that he was in the mansion? I'd have to. This is one of those things where I need to go back and have the Red in front of me.
I think it did say he was in the room.
But I still think that there's the way out here. If they wanted to forcefully turn that around, they would have to rewrite their tricks and logics that someone other than Battler would be set up as the perpetrator. If they fixed up one flaw, it would give rise to new flaws, which might eventually pile up and kill Battler. Even running away would mean tightening the noose around his own throat. The first truth, that Battler is the culprit, has already been hit upon. And yet, I have to struggle desperately to get out of this. I need to. I'm on the edge. I've definitely been cornered in a dangerous spot. However, if I could just change my position, everything might turn around at once. If I could just make this chain my weapon, I can kill Erika.
Wait, are you actually going to respond to her demand? Is there any way to escape without undoing the chain lock? There isn't. If you respond, you'll lose instantly from the logic error at the end. It's clear which choice we ought to make.
Yeah, it's clear. No matter what move we choose, it'll just turn for the worst just as Erika wants. It's horrible either way. If it's horrible either way, I'd like to choose the move that has the biggest reward if we win.
You're going to call even though you have no logic for escaping and no trump cards? You think you can accept her demand and win?
My cards might be useless. However, with just one more card, they might become a straight, a flush, or even a royal flush. If hell waits for me after both options, I'll take the one that'll finish her off if I win.
That's an insane move. Sometimes madmen leap into the pain of death, and so miracles occur. It's impossible. How could you escape this closed room without removing the chain? There is only one difference between heroes and madmen. It's whether they win or lose. I'll be looking forward to your big victory.
If I can finish things with this move, then as I predicted, I can kill Erika on my second move. Still can't think of a trip for escaping this closed room. However, there has to be something. There has to. I think of that. I can make a magic illusion of me changing into a butterfly and slipping out of the crack of the door like smoke. If I have even a drop of that mad magician's blood in my veins, please let that honor be just a fragment of a miracle right now.
So, Battler-san, let's have that second move that you predicted would checkmate me on.
Please give an answer to Lady Erika's
Demand.
Will you
Respond.
or will you
Refuse.
Slowly, Battler's hand stretched out to his king piece on the board. He lifted it up, slowly held it aloft. tracing a large circle in the sky. Would Battler respond, or wouldn't he? Would the lock caused by the chain be preserved, or wouldn't it? Would Battler's king crush the piece of the chain lock that stood right in front of it, or would it slip away like a ghost and escape? Find out next week on Umineko no Nako Koroni! This is my response. It's predicted. On the second turn of mine, you're through. Here it comes! Farudo, Erika! Ah! Oh, I didn't realize he was gonna...
The is the sound of him eating the piece.
Here it comes, Farudo, Erika! Battler's king had become a black lightning bolt that crashed down onto the board. Where had it gone? On top of the piece of the chain lock? Or past that piece? I will repeat it. The lock caused by the chain is intact. Battler's king had left the chain lock piece in its place and had slipped accidentally. Wait, yeah, that's just tape now. He can just be like, zip, whoop.
Not if it's a seal.
Oh,
Red.
yeah, not if it's a seal, I guess. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it sure would be cool if you could say that chain lock was still set, wouldn't it? Don't you think that'd be cool? But you know what they call a fool who's full of himself and jumps into the path of death just because it's cool?
No clue.
Ushiramia Battler. That is what we call them. I file a motion for a logic error. That red truth of yours just now has cut off your own logic. Please, have the impartial referee make her judgment immediately. Great lady Erika.
Motion received. Lambda Delta. Does this make logical sense? Your inspection, please.
Motion received. Battler, show me. Let me see your cards. Show me what you got. Battler-san. It is a royal flush, right? If you got nothing, you won't get out of this with just a sorry, okay?
Yeah, I have no intention of apologizing.
If it's a logic error, the game board will be blown away. You've inherited this game board from Beato. It's the one thing you have left of that precious Beato. So, you must not allow for a logic error.
A logic error only becomes established when the witch admits to it. As long as they can keep thinking of new logic to escape with, they will not die. They cannot die. However, that would be like living in an endless living hell of the mind.
Even if you manage to crawl around forever after falling onto the darkness of thought, you'll just be eternally trapped in a hell where you constantly think of ways to escape that closed room while refusing to accept your logic error.
Which is kind of what we've been seeing flashes of, hasn't it?
Yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure? This is nearly as bad as the depths of oblivion, got it? It's like the difference between falling from the roof of a 10-story building and falling from the roof of a 100-story building.
Also, comment section, you know what to do. Name me this banger, please. Lambda. Battler has already finished making his move. Players can't take back a move once it's made. Act as an impartial judge. Carry out our motion and see whether or not Battler's escape from the closed room is logical, and whether there has been a logic error or not. Be slow, accurate, and meticulous, like an archaeologist. And be as fast as a guy in an ice cream shop when he forcefully and skillfully scoops out that sweet, fragrant vanilla/soy sauce ice cream.
Bern,
God.
what is wrong with your food tastes?
Listen,
Actually, come to think of it, you know that kind of sweet and salty thing, like salted caramel? Maybe it'll work.
yeah, you see? Everyone wants that. We'll go, after, and now let's all go out for milkshake.
Yeah. Yes, I know that. Battler, let me see it. Battler-san.
Beto, do you think I'll lose?
I don't want to think that. After fighting with the old me many times, you finally reached the miracle that I so wanted you to find. So, I'd like to believe that you'll win through a miracle once again. This woman called Beatrice. The whole time, she fought on this same border between reason and madness. Oh no, this is Battler.
Oh. This woman called Beatrice. The whole time she fought on this same border between reason and madness. She fought with a mixture of sadness, anger, and several other emotions for me that can't be described with words. And yet, in the very last game, at the very last moment, she managed to seize victory. That might have been the purpose of the card Beato had been gripping as she fell. Beato passed away without realizing that she had won. In the final game, the true victor was Beato. That Beato entrusted me with this game board, so I'll win. So I need at least you to believe in me, Beatrice.
If I believe and a miracle occurs,
Please.
I do believe in you, Battler-san.
This is pissing me off. Please, just check it already, Lambda Delta. There's no valid logic. There doesn't exist any way to get out of this closed realm. You are over-eager, Battler-san. If you could win with this, that'd be cool. You're Spanish, even though the chain is still set. That'd make you so awesome. So cool, so mysterious. Hold me. Like hell you can. Like hell you can do it. And to that, you really would be a witch. You could vanish away out of this closed room like a puff of smoke and have to acknowledge it. I'd be the work of a witch.
Quiet, Lady Erika. Lady Lambda Delta is conducting her...
Inspection.
Wait, what? Oh, that was Lambda Delta?
Yeah, that's Lambda.
Pass through, one move, go back, and corner.
With sweat gathering on her forehead, Lambda Delta inspected the movements of the pieces from Battler's side. She was as accurate and meticulous as an archaeologist, just as Berncastle had told her to be. After gulping stiffly, Lambda looked several times between the formation of the pieces on the board and Battler's face, which remained tense but steady. Lambda...
I have finished my inspection.
There's no way that logic works.
Please, God.
Erika?
What?
I'm... so sorry.
Which way am I supposed to take that?
It was fun. And now this is the end.
I told you, which way am I supposed to take that?
Silence! I have finished inspecting Battler's move. My decision is that... it's valid!
Valid?
You're lying.
I judge it to be valid. He's presented logic that doesn't violate any of the red truths, and I finished checking it. The move by the player on the witch side, along with that final red truth he repeated, are valid. Battler, for the first time, I've got to say, I think you're incredible.
See? In your game, a miracle will always occur if you believe.
Battler-san, I'm sorry. If only I had believed more strongly, you wouldn't have been cornered like this.
Okay, this is getting too saccharine now. Something is up. Something is up. Beato flew onto Battler's chest, sobbing. Erika staggered backwards, shaking her head back and forth dizzily. And Berncastle? Her face was like an expressionless mask, and then slowly became a smile. And for some reason, it seemed the sign of some horrible emotion. Well
Done.
To think that you escaped the room without removing the
Chain.
simply...
Splendid.
With her small hands, Delano slowly started to applaud quietly. She was followed by Gertrude, and then Cornelia. Congratulations! And then by Beato and Lambda Delta, too.
Congratulations.
Filled the room. Congratulations.
And then all of my friends who were just off screen started clapping. Oni-chan, how did you...
I see. Yes, a move that cannot be seen by one whose thoughts are trapped within the closed room.
Impossible.
As Lambda Delta watched Erika, who was breathing hard, shocked and dizzy with the despair she couldn't accept, she had to take her hat off to the swiftness of Battler's heart and intellect, and to the power of this miracle. This feels way too saccharine, right?
It really does.
Right? Like
I'm
they're laying
very
it on
curious about
so
what's going
thick.
on. Incredible, Ushiromiya Battler. It's my complete loss for thinking that your power and Beato's would cancel each other out and bring an eternal draw. And Byrne, who thought everything would move according to her plan, even though she already knew your true strength, has also suffered a complete loss. Byrne is the witch who waits for miracles. You are the witch who summons miracles. You are not Byrne's piece. Just now, without a doubt, you have surpassed Byrne. You really did, in this one moment, think up a trick by which to escape from this closed room.
As Erika had predicted, Battler had been hiding in the closet. Then, during the disturbance in the bathroom, he had snuck out the door. Erika had guessed this much. That's why they retroactively set the chain lock and sealed it to prevent Battler from doing this very thing. The chain lock cannot be reset from the outside, so it should have been impossible to escape from the closed room. However, Battler didn't let his thinking get trapped inside the closed room. And so, he broke through. Doesn't matter who, but let's explain it with his mother, Kirie's piece.
We're finally going to get the fucking closed room trick.
Is that what's gonna happen? Just like
Place your bets.
Who knows? Let's find out.
Names thing.
I genuinely don't know.
I think it's got to be like a weird names thing or life or death status thing. Like it's bring up here. There's got to be something about it that doesn't involve Battler physically being there and exiting from the room.
Right. The trick is going to be that he wasn't.
There's some way that it could be said that Battler was there,
Got it.
and yet through some trick, he's not, or something like
Or
that.
something
Okay,
like
okay,
that.
okay.
Well,
Let's see.
Just like Battler, the life or death status of the rest of the first Twilight victims has not been specified by the Red Truth. In other words, just like Battler, the others, and Kirie specifically, can still move, and their closed rooms were not sealed, so they can go out as they please. Kirie had come to save him. Kirie followed behind Erika, who waited in the hallway while the latter entered the guest room and sealed the door from the inside. Then after Battler undid the chain lock and escaped, she entered the room in his place. And Kirie reset the chain lock from the inside and hid in the closet, just like Battler had done. Yes. Battler truly isn't inside this guest room right now. However, that doesn't mean that no one else is inside it. Kirie took Battler's place in the closet, the one exception that Erika had left, and is there still. Kirie saved Battler.
Romeo Kyrie cannot save Battler.
Huh?
What do you mean?
Ushiromiya Kirie cannot save Battler.
Why not? There's no red saying that Kirie can't save Battler. Wait a second. How are you using the red truth?
Valid. Lana's red truth is valid. Requesting permission to unsheath red key.
Permission granted. Please do it, Lana.
How? How can you give that permission?
It's valid. As the result of an impartial judgment, I guarantee this red truth.
Without telling us your reason?
We'll tell you that soon. Very soon.
Battler hasn't proclaimed Kirie dead with the red truth yet. It is allowed for Kirie to be playing dead. And the packing tape has already been used on 3 rooms, making it impossible for you to seal Kirie's room. So how can you use the red truth to say that Kirie can't save Battler?
Because Erika killed Kirie?
That red truth has no basis.
We'll tell you its basis soon, but more importantly, Lambda, the logic with Kirie has ceased to function. Should probably find another piece to switch places with Battler. Don't you think?
Yes, there are still pieces that can save Battler.
Reconstruct the logic. All we need is someone who could switch places with Battler. It doesn't have to be Kyrie.
Let's switch it to Natsuhi. Ushiromi and Natsuhi switched places with Battler.
Honor. Do it.
As you
Wish.
Delanor's red longsword smashed Natsuhi's piece into little bits. How? How can Erika deny this logic without the detective's authority? Ushiromiya Natsuhi cannot save Battler.
Then Ava. Ushiromiya Ava.
Ushiromiya Ava cannot save Battler.
Then Rosa. Maria.
Useless.
Rosa and Maria cannot save him.
Either. Death. 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 Death.
Die the death. Sentenced to death. The great equalizers is the death. We just got an achievement called Die the Death that said all of them.
Objection. Erika-san doesn't have the detective's authority. How can she use any red except for the packing tape seals?
Objection overruled. Not having the detective's authority does not imply that one cannot use any red at all. There's something she can use, right?
Yeah, there is. There are several exceptions that even humans without the detective's authority can use.
Insane! There's no way.
Yes.
There is.
None.
However, there is a certain action permissible only to humans without the detective's authority. And it can become a truth of such overwhelming credibility that witches can easily raise it to the level of red.
Truth.
A certain action permissible only to humans who aren't the detective?
I didn't expect that she would use it to turn her around on Battler.
Yeah, that's not what I figured was going to be the twist either.
I thought he was going to hold it up his sleeve as the twist for her, not that she...
Yeah.
You don't mean Erika. You...
I've got it. Yes, if I'm right, this red truth is valid. I don't understand. Was there some power that could only be used without the detective's authority?
Yeah. There is just one.
So you finally noticed? That's right. That's the only reason I abandoned the detective's authority this time around. You told me I could make the detective proclamation whenever I wanted, right? Well, unfortunately, I am no longer capable of making that proclamation.
Wow! I both called it and am surprised by it. Which Nox rule was it? Nox's 7th. It is forbidden for the detective to be the culprit.
You mean what?
Finally, Beato realized everything. Yes, the detective's authority bestows several powers that are useful for reasoning, but it eliminates one single privilege. That is Nox's 7th. It is forbidden for the detective to be the culprit.
In this game, it is impossible for humans without the detective's authority to examine corpses perfectly. There have been several tricks where the dead have all been faking walking around like they please. You probably think you could use that logic to create several impossible crimes after this. When I said I wouldn't make the detective proclamation, somewhere on the inside you must have said, I won. Here it is, lie yourself. You gave me the packing tape seal seemingly out of mercy, but that's because you planned to have all the first Twilight victims survive, band together and carry out the crimes. They gave me only 3 rooms worth, which wouldn't cover all 6 people. No matter which rooms I sealed, at least one of your underlings can move freely. You must have been planning to use that to corner me. But too bad. Your naivete really pisses me off. Stupid man.
I admit it. I admit that I fell for your monkey show. And in my pride, I tried to show you some mercy. That's right. Even without the detective's authority, there was a way for humans to do it. A way to make sure that a corpse examination cannot fail. Is the human lying in front of you alive or dead? You can answer that question by examining the corpse. With just a quick glance, your chances of right are 50-50 either way. Various bits of knowledge and experience can be used to obtain a more precise result. However, no matter how much you do that, while you can reach up to 99% certainty, you can never reach 100% accuracy. That's what most people would think. However, there is one way to conduct a perfect examination.
That is to kill them yourself.
Erika!
Without the detective's authority, I can't tell whether the victims are dead or me. So I needed a way to be sure. And if possible, it would be preferable if they were removed from the game board so that they couldn't make things a mess later on. So I dashed through all the Chaosville mansion, visited all the crime scenes, and I re-killed all of them.
What on earth?
Of course, she couldn't just kill them however she liked. It had to be a perfect way of killing, good enough that the deaths would be determined with the red truth. Erika made sure of that. The manner in which they were each killed differed, but afterwards, she completely severed the heads of all those she killed. That method of killing is solid enough to be called a red truth, right, Lambda?
Valid. No human could survive after having their head sliced off. Could you have severed all those heads without getting any blood on you?
For example, you take a large trash bag from the kitchen and grab the knife through it. Then if you cover the entire corpse in the trash bags as you did your work, you block nearly all the blood splatter. I learned this by watching American Psycho. My favorite documentary film. I used enough knives and bags for several people and then left them there at the crime scene. Of course, I humiliate myself by walking around with them, leaving blood in the hallways and dirtying my clothes. There will probably be trash bags left at the crime scene with my fingerprints on them. But since this game ends before the police come, they can't be used as evidence, so there's no problem with leaving them there.
Are you insane? What kind of mystery would ever allow something like that?
I can't believe I'm hearing this from a witch on the fantasy side. Oh, and don't worry. I didn't kill you. I didn't have time to sever the head of the last one I found, so I just sealed your whole room with the packing tape you gave me. Then again, that might have been because I knew this would happen and wanted to watch you struggle. Oh, right. That's right. Just so I can say that I killed them in red, I can say one more thing.
At that point, Erika stopped for a second. She really be wearing an even uglier expression than everything before now? With that highest quality face, she spoke.
All 5 people I killed were very much alive until the moment I killed them. Everyone faithfully played dead as best they could until the moment just before I killed them. Okay. Maria sounds like the little trooper. After all, even though her mother had already been killed in the same room, she kept on playing dead without even noticing.
Although this also works if she's the one if she killed the 5 people in the room she just sealed up before leaving.
What?
The guest room that she left with Hideyoshi in it. She doesn't specify that the 5 people she killed are the same as the 5 people that were in the rooms in the mansion.
What was her previous red?
That she's re-killed them. Specifically, it was re-killed in red.
Okay. To me, it seems like that's definitely describing these corpses, but maybe not.
No, it's describing the 5 people she killed, not re-killed. And the game said re-killed in red. I gotta imagine that that's important. demons. But till now, many witches and demons have appeared in this tale, but for the first time, here are true demons. You bastards! You bastards! This time, Beato understood the entire plot of this tale. This tale was just the story of a prank. Surely someone had thought of playing a slightly harsh trick on this inconsiderate guest who loved to show off her intelligence and act the part of a great detective, and several people had agreed to go along with it. Then the ones who would play the victims would go to their assigned rooms, set the chain and the lock from the inside, and play dead to create a fake closed room murder. If you think about it that way, the rooms chosen for the corpses seem to make more sense. It was only natural for Natsuhi to die in her own room. If you're going to play dead, it's only natural you'd want to lie down in your own bed. Ava's vanity is strong, so she must have asked to die in the VIP room. Lamau. Here Ava was in Krause's study. It was probably well air-conditioned and comfortable. Rosa and Maria were in the parlor. The soft sofa could have been a great place to play dead. Maria had done her best and impressively acted the part of lying dead alongside the wall. Battler was in the guest room. The temperature here was also nice. Bed must also have been fairly pleasant. Yeah, the victims for this first twilight had all died in comfortable rooms. In the past games, the corpses had often been found exposed in the courtyard or under the rose garden arbor, in the cold gardening shed or in the boiler room. This time, there were no victims in any such inhospitable environments. This is probably the truth. This is the story of a prank. No one dead from the beginning. And then this demon turned it into a real murder case. You do have the right to speak ill of Lady Erika. However, right now, you also have the obligation of showing a new logic that doesn't lead to any
Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. Corpses to corpses. Hey, Battler-san. Let's continue the game. Please pretend that every human to switch places with you. If you don't, your chip will become a logic error.
There's now no one who can come to the rescue. Erika has killed all of them. Damn it!
Battler-san, please calm yourself. Now's the time to hold back your tears and fight. Even if you've lost 5 pieces who can save you, there's still the 11 people in the guest house.
You're right. Kraus, Hideyoshi, Ruoff, George, Jessica, Shannon, Cannon, Genji, Goda, Kumasawa, Najo. Doesn't matter who, as long as someone comes here. Somebody help.
But it's no use. Please look at this. Gertrude, Cornelia.
Let it be known that we are here and ready.
Battler-san, please look at this. What are these?
Erika, who was now so excited that her pronunciation was tumbling all over the place, pointed at the 2 doors. There was the hallway on the second floor of the guest house. They were in front of the cousin room in the next room over.
Look, here, look here. There's something attached to the door. What is it? Hey, what is it, Gertrude?
Know that it is the packing tape seal of the cousin room.
Oh, yeah. Very good. One more. What about this door?
Know that it is the packing tape seal of the next room over.
No. Very good. Okay, you two. Why don't you show everyone watching at home on their TV? Please have a look at the packing tape seals on both doors. So what do you think of them, everyone? Are they broken or aren't they? Please, let us have the red truth.
Please allow me to speak. Know that neither is broken. Know that an unbroken seal proves that there are still none who have entered or exited. It needs no second telling, but know that entry or exit without breaking the seal is impossible.
Good. Battler, it is as you say. There no longer exists anyone who can save you. The victims of the first twilight have all been killed, and the guest house is still sealed. No one can come to the rescue. Erika had guessed that this moment might come so long ago. And that was why she had made the strategic move of suddenly sealing those 2 rooms. This answered the doubts Cornelia had felt at the time. Wondering why the human side player wouldn't want as many free humans as possible was a natural, simple reaction to that move. However, if you sealed up all humans, there would be no room for magic to intrude. Why is magic magic? Because the people who see it say that it's magic. Then it is possible for magic to exist in a place with no people? Does the lack of anti-magic toxin mean that there's no problem? Wrong. Magic in a place that isn't being witnessed is no different from a delusion, a daydream. Magic that matches a result must be carried out by human hands. If all humans are sealed off, then magic cannot be created. This was Erika's strategy for this game, and her beautiful check.
Well now, who's gonna come save you? Please tell me the identity of the real person who switched places with you, ran to the guest room in your place, and set the chain lock on the inside. If they even exist.
Okay, Battler. Your logic has been interrupted. Who could have come to save you? You're now in the middle of a logic error. Wait, I'm still thinking.
Battler, you have 2 options and 1 duty. The first option is to build a new thread of logic to reconstruct your closed room trick. The second is to come clean and admit to your logic error, and you're obligated to choose one of these options.
He was merciful. There's no restriction on the amount of time you can have to make that choice. That's right, your time is endless. Eternal.
I'm sure there's still some way, some twisted logic that can get you out of this. Anyway, I'm sure there's still some way.
I'm thinking about it. What about you, Beato? Let me know if you find anything. I'm sure the old Beato could have managed something. She built several closed rooms like this. Beato felt awful. Why was she Beato and yet not? Surely the old her would have thought up a trick under these restrictions. If only she could do that, she could guide Battler to victory, but she couldn't do it as her current self. Yeah, I'm sure you'll think of a good trick. Eventually, surely, probably, maybe. Pretty sure it's impossible though.
So then, Battler, let's go back to the guest room. From now on, that'll be your world.
Once again, they returned to the slightly chilly guest room. It was the same room as before, of course, but it felt as though an unsettling darkness had crept in. Here's the room you'll spend your days in from now on. You just need to escape from this room by any means you want.
However, there are conditions, as I believe you know. These were all things you forced on yourself. First, this room, the closed room created from the inside. The seals on the windows are intact, so there can be no escape through there. Of course, there's no way to escape by leaving through the bathroom. I'll make it simple. There's no exit to escape from, except for this door. However, chain lock on this door is set. You can unset and reset it all you want, but you might do it from the inside. Furthermore, you are free to go out through the door, but you cannot leave or escape if the chain lock is unset. You have to show that you can escape from this room with the chain lock still connected.
But he couldn't possibly. He couldn't possibly do it. He made this closed room himself.
We have arranged for just one exit out from the door. That one's in the bathroom.
Nightmares of a master. Give me your way out if you fail to think of any trick to escape. Please listen up!
Berncastle guided Battler into the bathroom. It was just a normal bathroom. The setup that had surprised Erika to buy time was no longer working. However, the bundle of wire and the nippers that had been used to prepare that trap still lay in the empty bathtub. You saying that I can use these to escape? Yes, please feel free. It's a present. However, no matter what you use, you can't lock the room from the outside. And you can't pull the seals either, okay? Tools aren't here to help you pull some trick with the chain lock. They're here to let you escape from this room in a more direct way. How am I supposed to use these?
Not bad, Burn. I see that your mind's as grotesque as ever.
There's an exit that leads directly outside from this bathroom. Can you find it?
You don't mean...
Did you figure it out, Beato? Please tell me.
That's impossible.
Please, where is it? Tell me. We can't let the game end like this.
There.
Huh? Where? Under the bathtub?
Can't you see? There's a round hole that leads straight out of this room.
It's a bit small, though.
You people. You people. It's the drain right there at the bottom of the bathtub. You can get out through there without touching the chain lock. But your body's a bit too big to get through this exit. I decided to lend you the tools here. Escape through the drain? How? Could have been using those nippers for 100 years to widen that hole, right? Battler and Beato had already realized. They'd figured out this demonic way out that the demons were proposing.
Just use those nippers and cut your body down to size it.
Crunch, crunch. Might as well sit back in the tub under a hot shower as you start from your feet going up. Chip, wash, chip, wash. Just keep doing that, and what do you know? You've suddenly managed to escape from this closed room.
Oh, what do you think what do you know is right, my master? Looks like both siblings are gonna end up the same way.
What does that comment mean?
Angie.
Oh, Angie
reduced
getting-
to a pile of meat.
Yeah. Got it.
But Burn, at that rate, just the hand holding the nippers will be left.
That's why you have the wire. Or a battler will have to wrap the wire around his wrist and then stretch the other hand out to the corridor through the crack in the door. You'll be able to fit just a little wrist to the crack by the chain lock. If you're willing to do that, I'd be happy to pull that wire from the hallway and save you.
My master, if you do that, I want it. Battler's wrist.
And what would you use that for? But no, I've already decided to use it as a back scratcher. When that time comes, I'll scratch your back with it. What do you say?
That's my master. Master's gonna scratch my back with Battler's.
Finding them annoying, irritating, obnoxious? Don't worry, it'll get quiet really soon. All noise to disturb your thoughts will now disappear for all eternity until you can escape from this room.
That's a relief. Be glad of the quiet.
Here's some advice from a survivor of hell. Enjoy this noise while you can. Even the annoying insults you hear now will bring you fond memories to preserve your sanity amidst the eternal silence. Do you hate Burn and Erika? Then that's their parting gift to you. As long as you have hatred, you'll be able to avoid giving up. Giving up has a completely different meaning here, okay? Prepare yourself while you can for the eternity of the hell you'll be in when you've given up but still cannot escape. Did you just call yourself a survivor? Then you also... You know, every once in a while, that terror comes back to me. I wonder whether I really have escaped from that hell. What if I actually lost my mind a long time ago, and I'm still in there, just seeing a delusion of us all chatting happily like this? That nightmare still terrifies me. And so I need to constantly feel, truly feel, that this isn't a dream. Hey, are you guys really real? You aren't just an insane delusion I'm having inside that hell, right? Right?
There was something in Lambda Delta's pleading expression that sent shivers down the spine. It was probably more terrifying than any threatening word she could have used with even the most vile expression on her face. It's time for Battler to realize the logic error isn't so sympathetic that you can just stick out your tongue, ask for forgiveness, and say you'll be more careful next time. It is never worth risking one by leaving things up to chance, even if you feel that you can't back down at this point in the fight. It is time for him to face reality and learn the true risks and terrors implied by the words, betting one's life on a fight, which must sound so exciting for a man.
Battler-san, get a hold of yourself. I'll think deeply upon it as well. I'll think of a trick to escape this room with all I've got. I will come to save you.
Beato, I'll definitely think of something. Just watch. Well, regretfully, it's time for us to leave. I must can't wait this job any longer.
See you later. Battler's on. Or like you'd say it, see you again, right? Have a nice day.
Later, Battler. Good luck. Battler-san, don't give up. You'll certainly think of a trick. I'll think as well, and I'll come to save you.
Beato? Before he could finish saying Beato's name, they had all disappeared. They hadn't disappeared in a golden spray or turned into butterflies and flown away. Just as though there had never been anyone in this room since the beginning. Everyone but him had vanished in an instant. Nothing remained. Not their voices, their presence, their warmth, nor even the faint perfume Beato had worn. The frigid air of the room was wrapped only in the lonely sound of the wind and the rain, with that overpowering feeling of isolation. Finally began to realize how horrible a punishment this would be. Damn those bastards. Can't be that hard to get out of a room like this. I mean, rooms are made so that people can go in and out of them, right? If they can't do that, you can't call it a room. No, pointless. It's easy to undo the lucky chain from the inside. Damn it. For some reason, I've always been clumsy, and undoing chain locks always gives me trouble. Oh, look, it's off. Hell pointless. I can already open the door whenever I want. Hey, what's with this cold feeling on my neck? What the hell is this? Is there suddenly this iron collar around my neck that's attached to a chain? Who would do something like that? When we reset the chain lock, it disappears. When I take it off, it appears. The chain's pretty long, so I can make it pretty far out to the hallway, but I won't let go of that door. If I close the door, stand on the outside and stick my hand through the crack, maybe I can figure out how to set the chain. Have I always been so clumsy? Not really clumsy, it's just that me and chain locks will go well together. I hate chain locks. I hate chains. Why? It work! Why can't I set the chain lock from the outside? Damn it.
Battler-san. Hang in there.
Get out. Beato called out to Battler repeatedly, shaking his shoulders hard, but by now Battler's eyes were blank. The words didn't reach him. Burncastle and Erika had already left. The game was officially suspended until Battler could think of a new trick. It was doubtful that it would be resumed even after 1,000 years or more.
Chapters 7 and 8 are just Bernie and Lambda's adventures through the multiverse doing horrible things to other people. Okay, I'm heading off too. So long, you two. There's no need to say so long. We'll think of a trick right away and the game will resume. We won't take up your time, so stay here a little longer, please. We've heard those same words from many witches in the past. And I've heard of hardly any who've actually managed to resume their games. As far as I know, the only two are me and Burn. Why would a person who knows about that hell throw another person into it? Just because you're bored? Is that all? Yeah, that's all. It's to escape from boredom. Because when we get bored, we remember. We remember that hell. And, you know, by throwing someone else down into that hell, we realize that, oh, we're the ones on the throwing side. And that means we aren't in that hell ourselves. If we don't keep doing that, then the fear of that hell will overwhelm us. Gee, I wonder if this is a metaphor for the cycle of abuse in some way.
Shh, don't say it out loud. It's supposed to be implied.
If you two manage to get out of it, then he certainly will. I will save him. I can say it with certainty. With certainty. You swear with certainty before me, Lambda Delta, the Witch of Certainty. Yes, with certainty. Very well. I was the guardian for the former you anyway. Though the current you is different, I'll take care of you one last time. I'll give you a parting gift. And what is that? Hope. As long as you hold on to your certainty, your wishes will definitely come true. Are you listening? The old you was the endless witch Beatrice. You used to love detective novels that depicted impossible crimes. And you used those to make the claim that a witch existed, to make many people believe in magic as one stage on your path to becoming a witch. Detective novels? That's right. The old you was an avid reader. You loved detective novels, loved closed-room murders, and were a super expert on impossible crimes. You searched for and found several closed-room tricks, found the single most basic element to all of them, and used that to form the core of your magical compendium. Didn't Battler tell you? He said that the old you would definitely have thought a way out of this predicament. I agree with that. I guarantee it by the name of the Witch of Certainty, Lambda Delta. The old you would definitely resolve this closed room trick. That's my parting gift to you. Goodbye. You've sworn to the Witch of Certainty that you'll act with certainty. So I won't say farewell. I'll see you again soon. Yes, we'll see you again soon.
Lambda Delta vanished into thin air. Then in the smoking room of the witch, the two who held the title of Endless Witch were left behind. One had empty eyes. The other supported the first by his side. Ironically, it was the exact opposite of how their relationship had been in the previous game.
Damn.
Fuck yeah.
Is this chapter end?
You mean episode end or chapter end?
I mean, before it gets to like the tea parties and stuff.
No, we haven't seen credits yet.
Are we about to?
I don't think so. I think that I still think there's some more.
Okay.
There's some more.
Okay.
But we'll
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I guess next time we'll come back and we'll have Zepar and Furfur. So look forward to those two.
Hell yeah. I always do.
Hey. Ciao, everyone.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.